Hello guys. So today we are going to start with the new topic, that is the movements for equality in Maharashtra. Just a minute. Yes. So we're starting with the third topic, I guess. It might be fourth topic. The third topic in sequel. That is movements for equality in Maharashtra. Okay. So we are going to see the term of equality in different domains, such as labor, tribal, women, etc. Okay. Backward classes, SEs, etc. Okay, we'll be moving in this particular direction. We'll be seeing all those different aspects of all those sections of the society we were treated unequal and how they gain momentum. We are going to see all that part. Okay, so let's start by discussing of this topic. In the first part or in the first section of this particular topic, we'll be discussing about the labor movements. Okay, so बाद में आते हैं वहाँ पे. First, we'll discuss about the inequality, how that came into the society. Okay, so we can say that inequality was a part of Indian society since the later Vedic period. Everyone has studied later Vedic period in your school days, and also you've studied in your course as well. Okay, if you have studied ancient history, you might be knowing that later Vedic period was a period where inequality or the seeds of inequality were sown in the minds of the people, and due to that particular thing, what happened? The proportion of inequality increased day by day. Okay, just give me 1 minute, just a minute. Sorry for the interruption. Yes. So inequality got engulfed in Indian society since the later Vedic period. Okay. And as the history moved forward, that is in the medieval India or medieval age, this inequality further increased. Okay. And this increase in inequality had affected the social life immensely. Or the social life was greatly affected by this all move. Okay. So what happened? In order to tackle these all things, inequality movement started in India. Okay, in order to tackle these all things, what happened? Inequality movement started in India. Okay, so this particular movement was started initially by the help of saints in Maharashtra. Okay, because we are concerned with Maharashtra, so we are focusing over there. Okay, so these inequality movements initially started because of the saints in Maharashtra. Okay, and then this particular work was carried forward by some social workers and thinkers. Okay, to whom we call a social reformers. Okay, they initiated or they instigated the social change, okay, in the society, and started to move for the movements or equality movements aimed for what was the aim of this particular movement? It was aimed to free women, to free labor, free dalits, etc., from exploitation. We need to free them from the exploitation. So this was the prime purpose of having the what you can say equality movements in Maharashtra. And what was the main thing or main focus in this particular movement? See, what we have done was we have kept our focus on common man, or you can say all round development of common. Okay, and to achieve all this, we have equality movement. I hope the idea is clear. Okay, I'll just repeat this thing in a quicker way. See, inequalities. Inequalities were in Maharashtra since the later Vedic period. Okay, they increased or inequality increased in the medieval age. Okay, and this has immensely affected the social life of the people. Okay, so what happened? These inequality movements were addressed initially by the saints in Maharashtra, or these inequality movements were started by the saints in Maharashtra. They took the first step over here, and later this responsibility was taken by some social thinkers and reform workers. We call as social reform. Okay, what is the main aim? To free the woman, labor, or Dalits from exploitation. Okay, and what was the foremost focus of this particular movements? Common man was the focus, or all-round development of common man was the main focus of this particular reaction movements. I hope this is clear. Okay, now the next part is what was the nature of social equality movement. What was the nature of the social equality movement? How they were doing? Okay, so why they came? They were the reaction of strong protest. Okay, what were they? They were the reaction of strong protest against inequalities in society. Okay, it meant, or this meant the fight of people. Why? For equal rights. Fight of the people for equal rights. Okay, when such movement starts, or what is the need for such movements to be active or to move forward? Okay, we need to have groups, or such movement comes into picture when people come together to meet their common goal. Okay, such movements start when people come together to meet their common goals. Okay, and what people do in such type of movements, they generally go give slogans, they go on strikes, they do meetings, they go for rallies. Okay, and these all things have been done in India. Okay, and this all started once the Britishers set themselves in India, or with the establishment of British rule in India. These all movements started with the establishment of British rule in India. Okay, so how exactly these things work? Okay, see, Plassey was a milestone for the British. Okay, when it occurred in 1757, Plassey was supposed to be the milestone for the British. Okay, from here you can say that British stood firm in India. Okay, they stood firm in India, and then in 1857 there was a change. What happened over here? It ensured that the Indians are established directly under the British crown rule, or you can say parliamentary. Okay, we Indians are the subject of British Crown or British Parliament. This was assured by after the revolt of 1857 or the uprising of 1857 ensured this particular. Okay, so what happened? All these things, whatever was happening over here, okay, all this influenced the social life directly. Okay, now what Britishers have done? Britishers have started means of communication. First thing, okay, then they bought Western education, which believed highly on equality or the concept of equality, though in theory, but yes, they do believe in this particular thing. Then they brought some new laws such as Sati ban law and all. Okay, they brought the concept of modern justice, and to proliferate these ideas to every corner of the society, they also came up with a device called as printing press, which further gave birth to two new items, that is news, papers, and books, etc. These tools served as a prime equipment for the rise of the nationalist movement in India. Okay, this started with the means of communication, Western education, you can say new laws, modern justice philosophy, printing press, newspapers, and books. They fueled this particular thing. Okay, in the beginning, okay, when Britishers came to India, when they were establishing themselves, what they did, they initially respected Indian traditions, Indian social traditions. Okay, they also respected our culture, customs, and religion. They respected all these things, but initially, okay, and once they established everything, what they did, they weren't sympathetic to Indians. Okay, they weren't sympathetic. Okay, they gave a name of development. Okay, or you can say under the name of development. What they did? They destroyed or disrupted Indian people and culture. Okay, so these all things happen, and this while disturbing the culture, they moved India towards, you can say, movements or towards social equality. Okay, uh, this started socio religious reform movements in Maharashtra. Okay, and these movements were inspired. These movements were inspired from, you can say, Western education. Okay, Western education, Christian missionaries, rationalist. Rationalists are the person who always strive to get the answer of why. Everything, whatever you're doing, why you're doing it, why questions. Okay, these are the people who always believe in the ideology of why, or they seek answer of each and every move what we are doing. Okay, so rationalist. This movement took place under the Western education, Christian missionaries. You can say the rationalist people. Then you can say many institutions, sects, and groups of people. Okay, many institutions, sects, and groups of people are formed to make this thing in real, or to do, or to carry this particular thing. Okay, now the most important thing was Western education. Okay, the most important thing was Western education. What this Western education done, it has made people aware. Okay, what this Western education has done, it has made people aware about human rights, about exploitation. Okay, about what is social structure, etc. Okay, and due to this all things, what happened? People wanted to bring change to their social life. Due to this all education or this all tools, people wanted change, or wanted to change their social life, and this gave birth to a reform, social reform. I hope you guys are getting this particular. Okay. Now the next part that we are going to discuss is an introduction about the labor movement. Where in India? No. Over here we are concerned about the labor movements in Maharashtra. Just Maharashtra, nothing else. Okay. Now, what happened over here in Maharashtra? People had very grave unrest within them. Okay, what happened? What was the scenario in Maharashtra? People had great unrest vested within them. Why? Because of unequal distribution of power, wealth, rights, and benefits in the society. Okay, so such movements came to improve the financial conditions and the injustice done to laborers. I hope you're getting the context. Okay. See, while labor movements in Maharashtra started, the first thing was there was rapid growing unrest or discontent in the people. Why? Because there was unequal distribution of power, wealth, right, benefits in the society. And to improve this, or to improve the financial conditions and injustice done on the laborers, or to address the injustice done on the laborers, what happened? This labor movement started in Maharashtra. Okay, so what were the three defining steps for this? Okay, the first thing was industrial development. Okay, so there was an industrial revolution in Europe. Okay, and this industrial revolution has affected India as well. Okay, for the self need, or for the self benefit, or for the self development, what Britishers have done, okay, for the selfish interest, they started factories and industries in India. Were they for our development? No, they're completely for the selfish purpose of the government. Okay, for the selfish purpose, what they did, they started factories and industries in India. Who? Britishers. Okay, and then came the first railway when in the year 1853. After this particular thing, an Indian person whose name was Nana Bhai Kaus Dawar, what he did, he established the first cotton mill in Kurla in the year 1851. First cotton mill was established over here as well. Okay. Then Tata Empress Mill was also established in Nagpur. Okay. And this moved on in such a pace that after 1885, okay, on the establishment of Congress, we can say there were near to 73 textile mills in Maharashtra. 73 textile mills in Maharashtra. You can see the things how they're. Okay. Up till 1885, there were 73 textile mills in Maharashtra. So the first thing was in the context of industrial development. Okay. What was the second pillar? It was about the problems of the labor. What were these problems of the labor? See, initially, who dominated the industries? Obviously, Europeans. They were the workers, they were the managers, everything was the European. Okay, but later, the companies got to know that Europeans are taking huge salary. Instead of doing this, we can hire Indians who are working into less wages that of them. So what happened? They were replaced by Indian workers. Okay, so textile industry developed speedily due to this particular thing. Why? Because Indian laborers were too much available. Okay, so that's why textile industry developed speedily. Not because of European domination, because Europeans were replaced by Indians later. And that's why the textile industry developed speedily, especially in Mumbai or Bombay. Okay. So, what was the other reason? See, labor. What was the scenario with labor? Okay, they were working in the fields initially. They were tired of working in the fields. Okay, they were bored of working in the fields. And they decided they will be moving towards the city to work. Okay. They moved to city for jobs. And due to this, what happened? Owner got ample laborers. The owner of the factory got ample laborers. Okay, so what he did, he started to offer cheap rates of wage. Why? Because too many people are available to do the job. That's why there was no union at that point of time. So what they did, cheap rates, okay, or cheap rate wages were offered to them. And due to this particular thing, what happened? They suffered, or suffering started. Okay, and this thing was at so grave height that women and children were also employed, but they were working same hours, but their wages were less as compared to men. Can you imagine the scenario? They're working equally, but they're getting less remunerations. Second thing was working hours weren't fixed. See the level of exploitation of the factory owners have done this particular thing. Okay, so there was no fixed time of working. It was obviously more than 10 hours, but there was no minimum time that you must work this and this. Maximum time was not fixed at all. Okay, so no fixed hours of working. You need to work day and night. Ruthlessly, you need to work for this particular thing. Okay, second thing, leaves and holidays were not provided. Okay, the provisions of leaves and holidays were not there. Okay, time to come in the morning or time to come in was fixed, but time to leave was not fixed. Okay, when you will complete the work, you need to leave it. It might be 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, no limit to that. Okay, once you complete your work, you can leave. This was the condition at that point. See how ruthless this what you can say owners were. Okay, also there was no lunch and toilet facility. They also cut the salaries for not getting leaves, emergency leaves sanctioned with prior permissions. Okay. Also, there was no service security. Means if you are working today, tomorrow the owner could say, okay, go, apna apna dekh bhai. They're not having any opportunity for you. So there was no service security for this particular thing. And also the thing was, no one, in fact, no one could raise their voice against the exploitation. So this was the scenario in Maharashtra up till now. Okay, so this was the beginning, or this was the background of the labor movements in Maharashtra. We'll stop over here. In the next session, we'll be seeing the causes of the labor movements in Maharashtra, and we'll be seeing the introduction of father of the labor movements in Maharashtra, it is L.M. Lokhande. We will be discussing about this particular part in the upcoming session. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this particular session. If you think the lectures or the sessions are too fast, just make the speed a bit slow. Okay, because too much of information is there. Whatever information is given in the book, everything is drained by me in front of you. Okay, because listening gives you much more insight. That's the thing. Okay, so we'll stop this particular session. The next session we'll be continuing with the part of causes of the labor movements.